Greetings, families. Welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If this is your first time, my name is Mamri, and you are very, very welcome. This video is about education, vocational science, and everything. Families, please watch this first video because I put two together, and I'll be back. While you watch it, think about the time you were at school. I'll be back, families. Thank you for your time.
The inspection is thorough upon arriving this morning at the Venegran Municipal High School in Ouagadougou. Even those who wore headscarves do not escape the rule. Mediation is often attempted for those with extravagant hairstyles to find common ground, but the instructions are strict and clear. No student should have access to the school. Without closely cropped hair for boys and simple braids, without extensions for girls. And this in accordance with the law, according to the joint decree of March 10th by the Minister of Basic Education and the Minister of Secondary Education and Vocational Training.
It wasn't yesterday that you were expelled, it was yesterday, right? So that means you are being defiant. You allow yourself to come back again this morning with that. You will manage to style your hair properly before coming to access the institution. Go ahead.
After the control at the gates, the inspection continues in the classrooms. And there about 20 offenders are caught. Expelled from the classrooms, they are invited to cut their hair or remove their dreadlocks if they want to gain access to the school again.
We were made to leave because we didn't style our hair properly. Our hair didn't comply with the regulations. We have to go and cut it again.
I was made to leave this morning because my hair isn't neat and I plan to braid it.
It's better to undo it and do it properly. You braid your hair properly or you plait it properly. There's no problem. But if you have locks and with the inspection, you do it like that, we can't accept it.
Another institution, same reality. In the courtyard of the Municipal High School Bambata in Ouagadougou, the boys have identical hairstyles without any embellishment or fancy touches. On the girls' side, extensions have been replaced by braids with natural hair. The rule is explained to the students well before the second trimester break.
And what is required? It's simple, natural braids, with natural hair, without any beads. Neither. Ornament key, there you go. It's essentially when you uncover your head and it's completely simple with natural hair, without any wandering styles, without strange models, and according to our understanding, it's a hairstyle for which you can't use combs. There you go, to properly pull out your hair.
It is now the norm, a requirement for these learners, since the decision of the Burkinabe government to establish a uniform regulation regarding students' hairstyles in public and private schools. An initiative welcomed by some, but a hard pill to swallow for others.
But then we can't even trace the cause. We just have to be straightforward. It will accentuate the phenomenon of wigs in Africa. I can't have a hairstyle with a design that allows me to attend a ceremony or other events. So that means when there is a ceremony and I am in a period where I have to go to school, I will be forced to wear wigs. And all of this strongly affects our culture.
Now, really, I don't like it at all. Because, well, keeping the hair, it doesn't impact anything. And the intellectual abilities.
If the students are unhappy, the parents, on the other hand, find that the authorities' decision is welcome as it aims to put children on the same level and reduces social divides. Also, wearing extensions demands a lot from the parents.
I think it's a very good idea because success already starts with discipline. On the economic level also, I think that it's really the right thing because there are parents with limited means who cannot always spend large sums to have their children's hair braided.
This measure comes to standardize the children, like the school uniform. What does standardize mean? Standardize means that there are now students. No rich students, no poor students. We are all students.
The implementation of the decree is effective on the ground. At least, that's our observation after a tour in some schools in the capital.
We can say that 98% of the girls complied with the provisions of the decree, and those who didn't have who weren't in compliance, they had their hair undone. They had only gathered their hair in clumps, but it wasn't compliant. It was neither braids nor knots, so we couldn't accept them. However, the difficulty we encounter is mainly with the boys, the close-cropped hairstyle. There are some who still have hair, you see, who comb their hair well, who come, but it's not A.
So we are also obliged to tell them to go back, to comply before gaining access to the institution. For the successful implementation of the decision, the school officials are calling on parents to be more involved.
Parents need to understand, join us in this effort. Because honestly, we can't make men without breaking some eggs. And that's why we say, if we want education in Burkina Faso to be what education should truly be, we need to get involved. We need to contribute our part. Because in reality, we bring children into the world. We entrust them to educational institutions. But still, we are the biological fathers. We are the mothers at home. It's up to us to understand that education starts at the foundation.
After these checks, if the offending students persist in their stance beyond expulsion, these principals intend to escalate by deducting points.
Thank you so much, families, for watching this video. Does it remind you of when you were going to school? When I watched it, I was like, this is me. Some of them were just like me. I was like, I don't know what to tell you of. I'm stubborn when it comes to hair because my hair used to be big Afro. And not just big Afro, it was thick and it breaks combs. Yes, there's a name that they give in my dormitory to my hair. Because if I borrow your comb, you will get two back. It will break, so it will be two. And that's how stubborn I always get myself into trouble because of this hair. Because I have to plait it at night. And in the morning before school, I lose it and become big and I'll pat it down. But it's still, so I was looking at them and I was thinking, if I'm among them, I don't know what I would do. So I agree with some of them that they are saying, well, learning does not affect your hair and all that. But rules is rule. We have to obey. Well, right now I will tell my children they have to obey school rule. But when you are in secondary, you think, well, now your mom, your dad is not there to be screaming on top of you. So, yeah, you will deal with that. And for me, it's the seniors that deal with me. After assembly, they will call me. I can't begin. I'll put a picture, my old picture. I found one. So you will know what I'm talking about. Because I was tomboy and I don't want to shave my hair and look like my friends that I've been going out with my, if it is today. I said if it's today, then I remember, even those days, they thought I'm a lesbian. Yeah, those days, long time ago, they thought I was because I like to learn, do carpentry, shoemaking, anything. Anyway, it's not about me. I'm just trying to tell you a story. When I saw that video, this one is about the university, the newly university that was opened yesterday. This university, the former prime minister laid down the foundation and now it is ready. Families, please listen. I know some of you have seen it already. One in particular left a comment for me. I'll put the name there because yesterday I was resting. I try not to go online. Seeing that, I quickly recorded a work on it for this morning. I'll be back, families, for those of you who haven't seen it yet.
Captain Life is a major issue for us in terms of sustainable development from an economic transformation perspective. With the aim of providing structural and sustainable solutions to the concerns of our brave youth, numerous actions have been initiated for their full development and their participation in the sustainable development process. Causes, Jesus School of Science, is part of this dynamic of improving the quality of education. In a world dominated by the knowledge economy, the sovereignty so dear to the President of Faso and our people cannot be built without quality scientific education. It is from this perspective that partnerships with the COSUS Foundation and the government of Burkina Faso are being tested. Indeed, through the project to improve access to and the quality of education, the government, through the Ministry of Secondary Education, Vocational and Technical Training, has established this complex consisting of a scientific application high school and a university center for technology and sciences. Ladies and gentlemen, our sovereignty is also expressed through freedom, that we commit ourselves to diversifying our educational, scientific, and academic partners. That is why we are delighted with this partnership with the Foundation, FAUJUS, which, through its centuries-old experience, its network of over 211 universities and more than 2,000 high schools worldwide, will bring a substantial improvement to the Burkinabe educational system with the contribution of our educational tradition, academic and scientific. It goes without saying that the expectations are high, matching the significance of the efforts made by the government. Burkina Faso, which we all represent, also requires a human, moral, and comprehensive education. I therefore highly commend the efforts made to open a boarding school for our children, dedicating themselves to what is most noble, the acquisition of knowledge.
The Foundation's objective has two parts. A secondary part that goes from 6th grade to the final year, C. Therefore, we have a secondary school, scientific, and we have the university. The university part also currently has two parts. The first part is a business school, where we train businessmen and businesswomen in entrepreneurship. And the other part is a university technology center that focuses on computer science, physics, chemistry, and biology. And there we will emphasize English, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and so on. So, two parts, secondary school, university. And for the secondary school, it's a scientific school from 6th grade to the final year C. And for the university, a business school and a university technology center. As mentioned by the Prime Minister, it is that we can bear fruit, that we can implement and execute the educational model of our own university, of our secondary school, which essentially consists of comprehensive training. That is to say, intellectually, morally, spiritually, physically, a complete education. Because the essential thing is not only, as you know, to have well-filled minds, but also well-formed minds. Hence our motto, which is Sapienza et Scientia, that is to say, science and wisdom.
As you know, the Education Quality Improvement Project, PACI, which enabled the construction of scientific high schools and their equipment, also is the project that accompanied the construction of this educational complex. Within this educational complex, you have the secondary education part, which is under the supervision of the ministry. And there is the ambition to also have a higher education part that will be under the supervision of the ministry, in charge of higher education, research, and innovation. And we just need to approach this ministry to obtain the necessary approvals. But this building will also benefit us, as we will be able to train within the building you visited our laboratory technicians, our teachers in the fields of mathematics, physics, chemistry, and life sciences. Because the laboratory here is equipped with state-of-the-art equipment. And this will allow for scientific education that is not only confined within the complex itself, but will also be spread throughout the entire territory.
The education package implemented since 2015 has significantly increased equitable access to preschool and secondary education, improved the quality of teaching and potential learning, and strengthened the institutional capacities of the ministry, both at the central level and in the regions. Additionally, this project has made it possible to prioritize education in emergency situations, to ensure continuity of learning for displaced children in the area. This educational complex, which has thus benefited from PECUR funding, aligns with the government's vision for secondary education. The COJUS, along with the scientific licenses established under PECUR, aims to train a generation of citizens capable of positively transforming development and contributing to the economic growth of Europe.
Thank you, families, for listening and watching. I'll tell you a story about my school days. What about you? Does that school remind you of anything? Let us know your story. We will read it and laugh and laugh and laugh. It wasn't a joke. I always get into trouble. Those seniors, I wish I can remember their names and put it there, because what they did to me is not easy. Anyway, vocational school, science school, accountancy, all in one. They are reforming everything, and this is the way to go. You know, I saw the minister for training also there. He was the one who went to one of the schools, and he told them they should not be learning a subject because the teacher is there. They should learn what will give them work, job, when they finish school. And so things are changing, and they are changing very quick and fast. And we are happy about it because the world is changing rapidly. You know, we cannot be using these old syllables and you finish school and there's nothing you can do. This will help them a lot. God bless you all, my VIPs, my kings and queens, my returning families. Ready to be F1 and FASO 7. See you soon, families. Bye-bye.